want to go back to what Randy said. I think it depends a lot on setting and what the purpose of the discussion is. But imagine, for example, in a classroom setting, which is where I do a lot of my work, I always assume that the purpose of the discussion is learning. And I don't assume that the purpose of the discussion is intellectual warfare. And I work hard to help others believe that is true as well. And so one reason I think to give people the benefit of the doubt is if you do, they're more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt. And I also think that just the act of giving somebody the benefit of the doubt causes you to listen differently than it does when you just assume a priori that that person is not to be trusted or that person is going to say something that is not truthful. So, I do think people kind of live up to our expectations. And so that's a reason why I think we should have high expectations, but they should also be very generous. I mean, that doesn't mean that everything that anybody says in a discussion should be treated generously, or that intellectual charity is something that should extend to everything at all times. I think that's one of the big challenges we have in contemporary America, is to try to decide when is intellectual charity not just ideal, but demanded, and when is it not? And I do think there are all sorts of times in which it's a very bad idea to be intellectually charitable towards some ideas.
I would agree with you. Again, though, it's hard to ferret out what someone's intentions are. So it's hard to know if somebody is acting in bad faith. And so one question is, in a situation where it's ambiguous, what should one do?
Yeah.
And in the face of ambiguity, it seems to me, why not, especially in a learning environment, why not have as the default position the generous attitude? I'm going to assume, now it may be that I'm making the wrong assumption, but I'm going to assume that you are acting in good faith and that you are engaged with me in a collaboration. Even if we're in disagreement, we are collaborators in trying to get to the truth, trying to get to, push our minds to a higher level. There's another reason why it seems to me one might want to, even in the face of ambiguity, give somebody the benefit of the doubt. And that's because, intentions can change. Mm-hmm. I mean, somebody might actually come to the setting in bad faith as a sort of warrior, but then if you act towards them in a certain way, it's possible that they might change. And again, it seems to me we should give the broadest berth possible to other people. And so, those are other reasons why it seems to me that your default position is a good one. And we should really lean over backwards to give people the benefit of the doubt, to show charity, to be generous.
I was just going to say quickly, I certainly agree with that. I mean, I've certainly disarmed individuals who've come to conversation in warfare mode by a kind of charitable disposition. I do think that this is the challenge, as Diana and Randall have said, discerning the bad faith argument or the disingenuous argument. People are making those kinds of analyses, parsing different arguments with vastly different worldviews and et cetera. That's one of the challenges, right? Because what I might triage under the category of bad faith, disingenuous, someone else might not, and vice versa. So we have people responding differently, categorizing particular arguments, ideas differently than others. Is really causing this kind of challenge and crises really at this point of discerning different types of arguments. And so, as has already been said, I think the charitable approach is probably the best disposition that you go into. And in many ways, you don't divert from that disposition until you really have to, right? I'm going to at every turn give this argument, this individual benefit of the doubt until I am hard pressed to do otherwise, I think is a good standard.